These are 5 things that deserve your privacy.
Let me start with a confession. I used to think privacy was for people with something to hide, like criminals or people who say, "I'm in crypto," unironically. I thought being open was mature, transparent, healthy. And then life did what life does. It gently slapped me with consequences until I learned that some information isn't sharing. It's handing someone a weapon and hoping they don't trip. Great system. So I'm going to give you 5 things you should basically treat like nuclear launch codes. Stuff you don't casually reveal just because the conversation got cozy. And yes, I learned a couple of these the hard way, which is a fancy way of saying I was dumb in public. Okay, first one. Have you ever told someone your salary or how much money you have saved? Be honest. Did it feel empowering for like 2 seconds and then immediately feel like you just took your pants off in a supermarket? Because here's the weird thing about money conversations. They rarely produce anything good. Rarely. In theory, it sounds harmless. You're just comparing numbers. You're just being real. But the moment 2 people swap money info, someone walks away emotionally bleeding. Maybe it's you, maybe it's them, maybe it's both. One person feels disappointed, another feels jealous, another feels judged, and the lucky one suddenly becomes the villain for existing. Congratulations on your success, now suffer. And the tragedy is there's almost no upside. If you say you earn less, you don't magically get a raise. If you say you earn more, you don't magically get respect. You just get people silently re-ranking you like you're a Netflix subscription tier. Now, yes, sometimes somebody needs to know. If you're taking professional help like financial planning, mortgages, estate stuff, obviously, that's need to know. But random conversations with friends, cousins, coworkers? No. That's not transparency, that's volunteering for weird vibes. And speaking of coworkers, here's another mistake people make when they're frustrated at work. They casually say something like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about quitting." Or worse, "I'll probably retire in 2 years." And it comes out like it's no big deal. But the second you say that, you just handed someone power over you. Power over you. Because now that information is out of your control, and people are, let's call them, creatively irresponsible with information. Some people treat secrets like free Wi-Fi. You tell one colleague, they tell another colleague, that colleague tells their spouse, that spouse tells their yoga group, and now your boss is hearing about your future plans from a woman named Neha who only eats almonds. And the thing is, you might think you're just venting. But in an organization, quitting and retirement are not emotions, they're strategy. Because if your workplace knows you're leaving, they can start treating you like you already left. And they might start making decisions that are very convenient for them. Not for you, for them. Imagine you're planning to retire soon. Feels like a calm, responsible plan. But companies plan too. Someone might walk up to you with a sweet smile and say, "For planning purposes, would the end of this year work for you?" For planning purposes, of course. And you're like, "Oh, yeah, sure." Seems harmless. And you don't realize you just agreed to the worst timing possible. Because bonuses, that beautiful corporate carrot. A lot of bonuses are paid in January or February for the previous year. So if you get nudged out before that, you might lose money you already basically earned. So the real rule is this: don't announce departure plans early. Not quitting, not retiring. Share it only when you are ready. Only when you are ready. Because casually revealing it before the right moment, that's like telling your opponent in chess your next 5 moves and then acting shocked when you lose. Now, let's go darker. You know what's even scarier than telling people your money? Giving someone control over your life. I'm talking about power of attorney. Sounds harmless, like paperwork, like adulting. But this one is the kind of thing that can quietly ruin you if you're careless. It's not a family trust decision. It's a legal weapon. A power of attorney allows someone else to sign documents for you, to make legal decisions for you, financial decisions for you. And yes, there are situations where you genuinely need that. If you lose capacity because of illness, stroke, something serious, someone has to act on your behalf. But some people give power of attorney casually. Like they're sharing a Netflix login. They hand control to a family member and just hope for the best. And I want you to hear this clearly. even good people can become weird when authority and money and convenience enter the room. So if you ever need to do this, get your own attorney, not your child's attorney, not your sibling's attorney, not your cousin's friend who knows paperwork. Because your attorney has a duty to you, not whoever's asking for the power. And I know this sounds paranoid. I get it. But this is the kind of paperwork that only becomes relevant when things are already falling apart. You don't want to discover you made the wrong decision when you're most vulnerable. Okay. Now let's go back to something more everyday, but still dangerous. Have you ever said something spicy about your boss? Like, my boss is an idiot. Or, I can't stand that guy. Or maybe it's not your boss. Maybe it's a coworker, a neighbor, somebody you deeply dislike. It feels good to vent, right? Like popping a pimple for the soul. But these opinions don't stay in your mouth. They become little flying drones that eventually reach the person you were talking about. And once that happens, it's game over. Because look, your boss controls a lot. Your projects, your promotion, your work environment, sometimes your job itself. And bosses are human beings. They have strengths, they have weaknesses. They have insecurities the size of a 3 BHK flat. So if they learn that you don't respect them, they might not fire you immediately. No, they'll do something much more annoying. They'll start managing you. Your mistakes will get highlighted. Your wins will be ignored. Your life will become a constant quick call at 6:47 p.m. All because you said one thing in the wrong place. So, who do you share this with? Tiny circle. Your spouse? Fine. A therapist? Perfect. A best friend you trust with your kidney? Maybe. But coworkers? Kids? Casual friends? No. Because kids have zero discretion. A 10-year-old will expose you for sport. Your boss comes to dinner and your child goes, "Papa says you're annoying." And now you're Googling how to disappear and change identity. So yes, keep your negative opinions private. Not because your boss deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Now, the fifth one. This one is sensitive. Mental health. Here's the problem with mental health. We should be able to talk about it freely. But the reality is, sharing can sometimes hurt you. Let me explain. I personally believe mental health shouldn't be stigmatized. People should get help openly. In fact, many people go through anxiety, especially during massive events like COVID. That shook everyone, even people who normally feel fine. And getting help for something event-driven, like sudden anxiety, that can be normal. But if you have a serious, long-term mental health condition, you need to be very careful who you tell. Not because you should feel shame, because people are unfair and companies can be brutal. Better, faster, cheaper. That's the corporate prayer. If someone in a workplace thinks you're unstable, unpredictable, risky, they may not say it, but they'll start treating you like a liability. They might quietly block opportunities, they might look for other reasons to push you out, they might avoid hiring you in the first place. Not officially, of course. Unofficially, which is the real way most discrimination works. So again, tiny circle. Share with a professional, share with people you deeply trust, share with someone who actually has your best interest. Just don't casually give out that information in environments where it can be used against you. And before you think I'm telling you to hide and suffer, I'm not. I'm telling you your mental health deserves support, but your career also deserves protection. Both can be true. And now, after all this, I can hear the question forming in your head. So what am I supposed to do? Tell nobody anything ever and live like Batman? No. The point isn't be secretive. The point is be strategic. You're not hiding, you're protecting. Because certain information doesn't just describe you, it can control you. Your money info can change how people treat you. Your job plans can change how your company treats you. Legal authority can change who controls your life. Your private opinions can blow up your work environment. Your mental health info can change how people judge your reliability. So the real skill here is learning a new type of maturity, not openness, timing, audience, intent. Because if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time, you don't just share,
you donate power.